Hey y'all, if you're new here, I'm back. I'm Shayna and I'm reviewing another episode of Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 13, going back to Blue Ridge. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Y'all know Married to Medicine has been pretty good this season. Like, not to compare, but definitely better than Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it's starting to pick up. You know, when they get on these group trips, it can get real spicy. And Audra's back. So I want to see what she's bringing, if she's going to bring the heat. Before I get into it, if you watched my videos before, do me a favor, help my channel grow, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share the video. Let's grow this channel together. If you like it at the end, on your way out, hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. So Quad visits Annila and her Ring cameras was going off so much. Child, they was going off so much I had to check my phone. I thought somebody was outside my door. I'm like, is that the trash man coming? Why is this going off so much? I forgot she had them on every door in every room in the house. Like, girl, just get a more advanced security system, please. Like, all these Ring cameras, like, y'all got too much money for this. I mean, anybody can get a Ring camera. But I digress. So Quad tells Amelia that Simone was laughing at the barbecue, at the situation when the ladies were talking about it. And she said, a lot of the ladies think that the break-in may be staged, possibly, allegedly. I too am wondering if this break-in may be staged, because it's given it may just be staged. Like, she needed something going on for the show. So I don't know. I mean, all they took was a few pieces of jewelry and nothing else. Yes, it's possible. Since there was no camera footage, we don't know. So Dr. Simone and Cecil visit Dr. Jackie and Curtis. Curtis was supposed to buy a charcuterie. Ooh, that's so hard to say. Charcuterie board. But instead, he got all the, everything you need for it, so you can do some DIY nonsense and make it yourself. And that's not what Dr. Jackie asked for. She's already trying to scale back on working a little bit. Now you got her working at home doing this. What does Curtis do anyway? What was he doing all day? He should be putting this together. And Dr. Jackie's like, pork. I don't eat pork. Like, what the... you can't send men to do certain things. Like, sometimes if you want it done right, you just gotta do it yourself. So Dr. Jackie says everyone is fighting. I don't know about everybody. Mostly Toya and Heavenly, but they're the ones fighting with everybody. But, I mean, I guess everybody has gotten into it at one time or another. So Dr. Simone and Cecil think that going to Blue Ridge will help the group. That's where they went before on their very first couples trip. And so they think going back to their roots will, help the group to come together. So we see that Miss Gomez is coming back. Like, Miss Gomez, did you leave? She came back with a coat on, like she was just ready. Like, Miss Gomez, did you really go to Houston? Because by the time I got to Houston, them coats and stuff would have been in the garbage. Them things would have been in the trash. She said she will never come back. She wants to raise her own, be around for her own grandkids. Did you forget about your own grandchildren and your kids, that you going to come back there with them? While they're getting ready and making signs for Miss Gomez, Anilia's burning pizza, and every time she's in the kitchen, the only thing she seems to be doing, aside from one cup of hot chocolate that she made wrong, is burning pizza. Like, it's like she can't do anything. Like, it's like she just doesn't know how to do nothing. Like, and I don't really, she said she'd be blogging and vlogging. I ain't seen her doing much of that either, honestly. Like, it just seems like she can't do a damn thing. Like, what can you do? Yet here she is looking up with a doctor for a husband. Sometimes I question God and wonder why did you lead me on this path? Why did I make these terrible choices? Because clearly I am not living right. Like, goodness gracious. It is painful to watch her scenes sometimes. Like, seriously. So, they're all really, and I'm just joking, by the way. Like, I love G-O-D. Moving on. They're all relieved that Miss Gomez came back. I don't understand why Annila is a housewife. She doesn't do anything. But I've already said it, so let me just keep my thoughts to myself. They offer Miss Gomez a room at their house, more money, whatever she wants. Where was Miss Gomez singing before? You had her come in there getting the kids ready for school all the way to putting them down in the bed at night, and she had to stay somewhere else? Miss Gomez, was it worth coming back? How much are they paying you? Like, was it really worth it? Because for peace of mind, it ain't. So Dr. Contessa is preparing for her fitness competition. She's getting a spray tan to accentuate her muscles. And I didn't realize that, black people got that done in the competitions too. I didn't know. So that was nice to see. Like, it definitely made a little bit of a difference. She looks amazing. Her family is there to support. Surprisingly, none of the Married to Medicine wives and ladies of the show are in attendance. Ooh, excuse me, I feel like I got to sneeze. Of course, Contessa wins. And she's happy that Dr. Scott is there to support her. The other contestants look very nice as well. So good to see that. Well, she always, had a nice body. So go ahead, Dr. Contessa. And she reminded us again this episode that yes, she is 45, doing a thing, okay? So everyone is getting ready for Blue Ridge. Quad FaceTimes Audra. And Quad asks Audra, like, how is it going to feel seeing Toya again? You haven't seen her since she attacked you. And I'm like, attacked you? Attacked? More like back up off of me, like, get back, girl, like, back up. I wouldn't call after Audra was chest bumping her down an attack. Toya just told her to back off. But whatever. Then, we see everybody on their way, and Audra and Dr. Martin are in the car, and they're talking about they're just coming back from their 3-day wedding. I'd be on my honeymoon, forget this trip. But they got to show up, but they want to get that permanent spot on the show. So they show little clips of their wedding, and I know she's friend to the show, but I would have wanted to see more of her wedding. When you on the show, you get a full-on wedding special that Bravo pays for, so it's fine. I just wanted to see more of her wedding. Like, I want to hear more of her story, honestly. I would like to see her on there full time. So, Dr. Simone discusses house rules with Dr. Jackie on the way to Blue Ridge. People are arriving, and the house mothers, Simone and Jackie, pull Toya to the side and basically tell her, don't you act up on this trip this weekend. Like, don't you show off. We're not going to have no trouble this weekend as a mother would. So, Audra and Dr. Martin walk in wearing their matching champion outfits. Slight shade, but they looked very cute. Giving very much newlywed realness. So everyone's looking at their rooms, and Heavenly jokes about Quad not being married. Like, they was like, we thought she was going to bring somebody. That's why we had to double beds. Like, Heavenly made a joke about, Quad not being married and not being able to share a bed. And Quad was like, I know you not talking. Wasn't you pregnant when you got married? Then they rolled the clip back, and when Andy was like, oh, you trapped daddy. She trapped him, but it worked. And they still together, grown kids and all. So, Audra and Dr. Martin say hi to everyone in the kitchen, but, Toya and Dr. Eugene said nothing. Like, Eugene was putting the pressure on that potato salad. Like, he acted like he didn't hear a word. And I'm with it. Put up a united front. Stand together. We are a couple. We are one. We are married. You got a problem with my spouse. You got a problem with me. So, I understand it. Dr. Heavenly apologizes to Toya and said, she was just going through a lot. She's apologizing for her part. She's just had a lot on her mind after losing her mother, and that's understandable. I don't know. Could Toya have apologized as well for, not really caring about the fact that Heavenly lost her mother? Maybe. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. So Audra and her husband decided to be celibate a month before getting married, or at some point, because they wanted to consummate the marriage, after having a little break. They did consummate the marriage, and so they took a pregnancy test, and they're pregnant. Yay! Woohoo! So Audra has a 7-year-old. I didn't know from a previous relationship. So they are a blended family. Shout outs to blended families. Shout out to my blended family page on IG. And they are so excited to expand their family. And now I definitely want to hear more of her story now. She has way more. I would much rather hear about Audra's family life than Annila. Make Annila friend to the show. She could be off the show. She could be like Carrie for all I care. No speaking lines. All we got some he say, she say from somebody else of what Carrie said, but we ain't heard Carrie say a word all season. Less Annila, more Audra. She should be on there permanently. Like, I like that she brings a little youthfulness to the group. She's growing their family, her husband having to deal with becoming a stepfather. We already know we got the stepdaddies going on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I want to see how it looks over here because we got the Monty, we got the stepdad, we got it all. So yeah, I'm curious to see what it look like over here on this side. But shout out to them. Congratulations on their growing family. I always told myself before I had my second child, I need to be married first. Here I go getting engaged thinking that was good enough. Honey, no, it's not. I should have walked down the aisle all the way and signed it out in line before I did this. But moving on, Annila and Dr. Karen arrived. Dr. Eugene finished his cooking. He really could be a chef. Like, if he decides he wants to just retire from being a doctor, it seemed like he could be a chef because he always the one doing all the cooking. So the ladies eat together, and Annila asked the ladies if anyone thought that the break-in was staged. And then we get it to be continued. So, do y'all think that the women will come clean and tell her that yes, they believe it's staged? I would have questions. I have questions. I mean, she said earlier on, like, well, why was she posting on social media and stuff? You had to make it look legit. You want sympathy. You also need a storyline for the show. So, hello. But, I mean, besides that, let me know what you think about Audra and her husband expanding and Miss Gomez coming back. Let's talk about it all in the comments. Don't forget to, you know what, subscribe, like, share, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.